Okay, good morning, guys. We are going to continue on with our solar system book from our leveled readers from reading A to Z. Okay, today we are going to focus on this part. Part 4 is on Saturn and Uranus. Okay, so did you know, or do you know, pardon me, if you weigh 32 kilograms, 70 pounds on Earth, you weigh 29 kilograms, 65 pounds on Saturn. So that's pretty similar to the same gravitational pull as Earth, okay? Saturn is the 6th planet of the solar system. It is easy to recognize because of its large visible system of rings. The rings are made up of millions of pieces of ice and frozen gases. Saturn has the most moons of any planet, approximately 23. 23 moons. That would be beautiful to look up into the night sky and see 23 moons. Saturn is also unique for other reasons. It is not as dense as the other planets. It is the only planet less dense than water. Saturn would float in a swimming pool if there were one big enough to hold it. Saturn spins very fast, making one day on Saturn 10.5 hours long. Okay, so Saturn is very, very light. It's not dense and compacted like a solid planet would be. It's very light. So if there was a huge swimming pool, it would be like a big beach ball floating on top of that swimming pool. Okay, Uranus. Do you know, if you weigh 32 kilograms, 70 pounds on Earth, you weigh 28 kilograms, 62 pounds on Uranus. So again, it's a similar gravitational pull on Uranus to Earth. Uranus is the 7th planet of the solar system and the 3rd largest. It looks blue-green in color because of methane gas in its atmosphere. Uranus seems to roll around the sun because it is very tilted. Scientists think this might be because it bumped into another planet-sized object long ago. Uranus has 18 moons and 11 known rings. So not only does it have moons around it, it also has rings that surround it. It takes Uranus 81 Earth years to go around the sun. So its orbit is extremely slow going around the sun. It takes it 81 years, almost one human's lifetime, to go around the sun. Okay. Oh boy. Let me tell you. Okay, let's go on to Neptune. Do you know, if you weigh 32 kilograms, 70 pounds on Earth, you weigh 36 kilograms, 79 pounds on Neptune. So you'd weigh a little bit more on Neptune. So the force of gravity there is a little bit stronger. Neptune. Neptune is the 8th planet from the Sun. Neptune and Uranus are sometimes called the twin giants because they are so much alike. They are about the same size, and they both glow with the same blue-green color. And like Uranus, Neptune is covered with thick clouds. Neptune has at least 8 moons and 5 dust rings. It takes Neptune about 165 Earth years to go around the sun. So its orbit is extremely slow. Do you know, if you weigh 32 kilograms, 70 pounds on Earth, you weigh 2 kilograms, 5 pounds on Pluto. So on Pluto, you would weigh less than the average baby when they're born. Pluto. So here's a close-up of Pluto. It's very small. Before 2006, the space object called Pluto was the 9th planet of our solar system. Okay, so before 2006, it was considered a planet. But scientists, after much debate, voted to create a new category called dwarf planets for space objects like Pluto. Dwarf planets orbit the sun, have nearly round shapes, are not moons, and, unlike planets, have not cleared the neighborhood around their orbits. 3 space objects have been categorized as dwarf planets: Pluto, Ceres, and UB313. Ceres orbits the sun between Mars and Jupiter. Pluto has an oval orbit that makes its orbit cross paths with Neptune's. Okay, so they actually cross paths, they intersect each other. UB313 is currently the farthest dwarf planet from the sun. Many more space objects would be categorized as dwarf planets in the years to come. Yeah, that's true. As our technology advances and we discover more and more objects out there in our solar system, we will be identifying and have identified far more objects as dwarf planets. Okay, so we not only have planets and dwarf planets and other items like that in the sky in our solar system, we have things like asteroids and comets, okay? Asteroid Ida and its moon. So asteroids are not a planet because, as you can see, they are not in a sphere, a nice round shape. They are irregularly shaped, but they can have moons. Other objects can have an orbit around them because they've developed a gravitational pull of their own. Asteroids are rocky, metallic objects orbiting the sun. They are too small and oddly shaped to be called planets or even dwarf planets. They range in size from a few feet in diameter to hundreds of miles in diameter. So diameter is the length from one side of the object all the way across to the other. If you cut it, if you measured from one point across to the other side in a straight line, that is its diameter. Okay? They range in size from a few feet in diameter to hundreds of miles in diameter. Most asteroids are found between Mars and Jupiter. Some have orbits that cross Earth's path, and in the past, some have even crashed into Earth. Asteroids and other smaller objects called meteoroids that float in space and enter Earth's atmosphere are called meteors. Most burn up in the atmosphere. So remember, we talked about the atmosphere that goes around Earth and how thin it is, but it is a protective layer for us. Okay? If they survive the trip and land on the ground, they are called meteorites. Among the best evidence of an asteroid hitting Earth is the Barringer crater near Winslow, Arizona. So yeah, on our Earth, we do have evidence of where meteors have entered into our atmosphere and actually hit the Earth. They have impacted the Earth. We have that around many places on our Earth. So it would be interesting. I would like you to check that out and see if you could find some places. See if you could find any in Canada. Hayley's Comet. So here we're talking about comets. Oh, some people also pronounce this as Halley's Comet. You'll hear it in both ways. When I was a kid, it was referred to as Hayley's Comet, and then the pronunciation was corrected, or we were told it was actually Halley's Comet. So you'll hear it in 2 ways. Comets are composed of ice and dust and are like large dirty snowballs in space. They have very oval-shaped orbits. For part of that orbit, they come close to the sun, and then they swing far out into space. Some comets orbit the sun in less than 200 years. The most famous of these is Halley's Comet. It returns every 76 years. So every 76 years, it does an orbit. So every 76 years, there's a chance that we on Earth can see it. Other comets take thousands of years to complete an orbit. Comet Hyakutake which passed close to the Earth in 1996, will return in about 9,000 years. 9,000 years until we see that comet again. That's crazy. Okay, and the last page in this book, a spiral galaxy much like our own. So our galaxy, our solar system, the Milky Way, that's ours. That's where Earth is found. There are many, many, many more galaxies all out there in our universe. Okay? Some are very similar to our own, some are not. And as I said before, because of our technology that we are advancing, we're learning more and more every year about what is out there. Conclusion. Humans are fascinated with outer space. There are thousands of books and hundreds of television programs and movies devoted to space travel. We wonder about other solar systems in space. Humans are curious about the universe, and we like going in search of new adventures. As technology continues to advance, many of the space adventures that are now only fantasy may become real. Here's your glossary with all the terms that were in bold, and they will give you the definition of those terms. So it goes over atmosphere, diameter, fossil fuels, gravitational pull, meteor, meteorite, meteoroid, orbit. As you can see, it's in alphabetical order. Okay? Yeah, space technology, space travel, all that is advancing at a great pace. When I was a kid, there was no chance that anybody could go out in a rocket ship, other than astronauts that were on a specific, duty, go out on a rocket ship for a joy ride around the Earth and come on back. And you guys are living in the day and age where people are doing that. So things are changing, and it will be interesting to see in the next few years what actually happens. Okay, attached to your book are also some activities that you need to do. So you're going to pick out information from details from the sun, the moon, the Earth, asteroids, and comets. Tell me what the main idea is, and give me some details to support it. Tell me how you know that that's the main idea. Here is just read the sentence and please correct it. There are mistakes. Fix the capitals, fix the punctuation, all that stuff. You have to read through or listen again through and answer the questions and do the crossword. It has an orbit of 88 days. Which planet has an orbit of 88 days? Whatever one it is, you write it over here in one across. And then at the end, there's just some checking your understanding of the story. Okay, so you read the question and answer, fill it in with whatever the right answer is. What makes the planet Mars red? Is it paint, plants, rust, or gases? Remember, it is full of rust. Okay, so you just select the correct one. All right, guys, that's it for our solar system, the story. Remember to get it completed, and I will see you on our Teams meeting. Take care.